Dr. Anthony Fauci is testifying before a Republican-led House panel today that's investigating the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic and the U.S. response. Republican lawmakers are questioning Fauci over his leadership at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. They claim lab work funded by the agency is what led Chinese scientists to develop the coronavirus in their Wuhan lab. The theory has been widely disputed by scientists and health officials who point to the body of evidence that indicates the pandemic originated from animals at a wet market. Fauci addressed these accusations and more in his opening statement.
The accusation being circulated that I influenced these scientists to change their minds by bribing them with millions of dollars in grant money is absolutely false and simply preposterous.
CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion is on Capitol Hill covering this hearing for us. So, Nikole, what is the committee hoping to accomplish by holding this hearing?
Well, Lindsay, of course, this hearing today is Dr. Fauci's first appearance since he retired about 18 months ago from the federal government. And he has already spoken to this House Oversight Subcommittee before, behind closed doors, for a number of hours. And so the committee just released some of those transcripts. So this is kind of a follow-up or continuation by holding this public hearing. But really, it has, as many of these hearings do, devolved into politics, with both sides blaming the other. You know, Republicans contending that they feel that Dr. Fauci was responsible in some way for the coronavirus pandemic, and Democrats pushing back on that narrative as false. Take a listen.
It was Donald Trump's own COVID-19 advisor, Deborah Birx, who said that we lost hundreds of thousands of American lives because of the irresponsibility and the deliberate indifference and negligence of Donald Trump. That's the reality of the situation. That's what they're trying to cover up with all of these attacks on Dr. Fauci. So they've given us a political big lie, and now they're giving us a medical big lie.
Fauci allowed the grants to go to EcoHealth. Gain-of-function research was used creating COVID, taking a virus that was spread among bats, changing the virus to where it's transmissible between humans that led to killing millions and millions of people. Where's the lie in that?
And so, again, those are some of the arguments that both of those committee members made, Congressman Raskin and Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, in today's hearing. But Dr. Fauci, as you heard in that soundbite earlier, pushing back against what he believes are inconsistencies by this panel that suggests that he's liable in any way. He obviously argues that he is not.
So, Nikole, scientists and health officials have previously testified that the coronavirus being studied in labs bears almost no resemblance to the one that set off the pandemic. So, we heard from Marjorie Taylor Greene there. Why are lawmakers like her still trying to make that connection?
Yeah, and this is something that has surrounded a lot of the questioning here in this hearing. And Dr. Fauci, this is one of those inconsistencies that he continues to push back against, saying that at one point it's almost molecularly impossible for, what this particular lab was studying, that it had any relation whatsoever to the coronavirus pandemic and, what is known as SARS, which ultimately is the same as COVID-19. So he pushed back against the idea that there could have been any connection there. And that has been, again, kind of the arguments that lawmakers have been making, with many Democrats arguing that they feel Republicans are kind of cherry picking evidence and pushing this as conspiracy theories. That being said, Dr. Fauci did say that he kind of remains open to the potential origins of the virus, but again, pushed back against any connection between the virus that was being studied by a group of scientists out of that Wuhan lab and ultimately what emerged as COVID-19.
Okay, Nikole Killion, thank you.